Well, most of the projects or things that have happened in my life have been born out of a connection. Either a client has connected me with another client, or a friend has connected me with another, or I have connected in a place with a story, and then I followed that path or something like that. So when Wisdom of the Century came about was through a Colombian friend of mine that told me, "Oh, Pipe, I have my friend she's Sandra Koifman, and she has this idea for a coffee table book about elderly people in Miami. Can I give her your contact so she can explain you further?" And I'm like, "Of course." So Sandra called me, and then we did a meeting, and then she explained everything that she had in mind, and I explained her everything about my photography. And then she asked me if I would be interested to be in the photographer for the coffee table book, and I'm like, of course. So it was very a no-brainer for me. I love I in my photography, most of my clients are not, of course, older people than 90 years old, which is what the book is about. But in many occasions, I have photographed many of my clients with their parents or their grandparents, who sometimes have been. I photograph people over 100, also as part of my photobiography clients. And then I also read a lot about one of my favorite writers. Her name is Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, and one of her books is called The Wheel of Life. And she's a person that studied a lot of people that were clinically dead, and then they came back to life, that they were for a few seconds gone, and then they came back to life. And not only that, she did all her life studies on people that were terminally ill, and because of one reason or the other, and they all came to the conclusions of living life in the right way, so that when death happens to come to you, you don't have regrets, and you are at peace with the way that you lived. And I've always, for whatever reason, been passionate about her texts, and I've read a few books of her. And when Sandra approached me about this project, which was to interview people that are over the age of 90, I was curious to see what is it that people over the age of 90 do, and how happy they are in their lives. What is it that they connect most in life with at this point in time? Do they have people around? Don't they? I don't know. So I'm always curious about people and their stories, and the way that they live, and organically, I always ask people, even if I meet them like briefly for the first time, many times I end up asking them, but like if they tell me, "Oh, I just moved to Miami 6 months ago," or "I've been living here and there, and now I moved to this place," or if I'm traveling or something, and I'm like, "Okay, but are you happy?" And then like some people are like, "Yes," some others, they question themselves for a moment. And to me, it's a very normal question. Like, are you happy? You're not happy? Are you at peace with the way that you are, and the way that you're living, and where you are in this moment in life? And I was curious to see about the people over 90, how they are, and it's been truly a wonderful journey. Probably one of the most interesting, if not the most interesting, that I worked on this project of the book Wisdom of the Century, to go into the houses of these 90 people, because I attended all the 90 interviews. I went either with Meryl Seiferstein, who is the author of the book, or with Sandra, who is the founder, and she's a psychologist. And either one of them conducted the interviews, but I was always there present with them, because at the end of the interview, I would take their portrait. And to sit there for an hour and a half, 2 hours with all of these people, it's been just countless, the amount of experience and wisdom and energy and love and that I cannot even summarize or begin to say, because it's been beautiful. And most of them are, um, well, from 20 different countries, so they come from different backgrounds, but they all have something and many things interesting to say. If we have a lot to say at our age, imagine when we are over the age of 90. And it's been just precious. And in terms of photography, for me, it was wonderful and right, in the sense that all these portraits were to be taken in their own space. For the most part, except maybe five, maximum 10. We didn't do it out at their homes, but we did it at a location that they chose themselves. But for the most part, it was always in their home. So for me, that was just my bread and butter, because I keep doing that for every client over and over. It's to go to their spaces and photograph them right there and then. And it's been just a joy in all sense, not only through meeting all these 90 wonderful people, but also in the interactions with our team, with Sandra, with Meryl, with Jenny Menzel, who is the graphic designer of the book and of the whole project. We have had such an amazing connection among the four of us, and working on this project has been really like very smooth, very easy, very inspiring all around.